Good morning dear students, hope you all are doing fine. Previous class we were discussing control statements and today we will be continuing the same chapter, and today's class is about the control statements, and we will be continuing the control statements which we have been discussing in earlier classes. So, let us get started and let us check out the highlights of this chapter, and before that, so let us get started and let us check out the different topics what we will be discussing in this class, and also we will discuss we will have a recap of the topics we have studied in our previous session. So, today's class is control statements, and which is part number 2, and it is chapter number 10 from your syllabus. So, let us have a highlight of this particular session and the things what we will be discussing in today's session. Today's session we will be discussing the selection construct, and in the selection construct we will be discussing simple if statement, if else statement, and then if else if statement. So, let us get started and then quickly let us recall the things what we have studied in our previous session, and then we proceed with the today's topic. So, as we know that there are 3 programming constructs, that is sequence, selection and iteration. Sequence is the order in which the statements are placed, they are executed one by one. Sequential construct is nothing but the statements are executed one after the other in the order in which they are placed from the beginning to end, one by one, from beginning to end statements are executed. Whereas we can't change the order of execution. Whereas selection, it is used to alter the sequence of the statements placed in the program. Sometimes we may select to execute a particular statement, and sometimes we may skip to execute a particular statement. Then we have iteration. Iteration andre repetition ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So, there are 2 control statements, that is selection and iteration. And selection, it is also called a conditional construct, where a condition is given and the statements are executed based on the condition. It might be true or it can be false. So, if it is true, one particular set of statements are executed. If it is false, another set of statements are executed. So, there are 5 kinds of selection statements. One is simple if else, if, nested if, and multiple selection, which is nothing but switch statement. So, you already have an idea of how these we will be using in the program, as this is already discussed in our problem solving methodology class. So, in simple if, there is a condition, only if the condition is true, then the statements are executed. If the condition is false, the statements are not executed. So, here if amount is greater than or equal to 5,000, then the discount is given 10%. If amount is not greater than 5,000, the discount is not given. So, here is condition. A condition can be true or a condition can be false. If a condition is true, then the statement can be executed. If the condition is false, the statement is not executed. So, let us, in the previous class there was some problem with the display. We were not able to discuss this program, that is a C++ program to input total bill, and if the amount is greater than 1000, 8% of discount is given, otherwise no discount is given. Then we are printing total amount, discount and the final amount using simple if statement. So, let us see have a look of the program. Hash include iostream.h, that is input output stream. Stream refers to the flow of data. As we are using input and output statements, it is required to include iostream and conio.h. Then we have void main, then T amount, T means the total amount. Then we have discount. Then we have F amount. F amount is nothing but the final amount. Final amount means the bill amount after deducting the discount. So, clear screen, see out, enter total amount. So, we are accepting the bill amount, that is C in TA amount. TA amount is nothing but the total bill amount. First, discount is equal to 0. So, we are keeping discount as 0. We are taking the bill amount and first discount we are keeping it 0. Only if bill amount is greater than 1000 we will give 8% of discount, otherwise we will not give any discount. If T amount is total amount, that is bill amount. If it is greater than 1000, then discount is equal to 8 by 100, that is 8% into total amount. So, here we are calculating the discount, how many? 8%, and we are calculating discount only if the amount is greater than 1000, otherwise discount will be 0. Final amount, say if a person has purchased, say if he has purchased some goods about 2000 rupees, the bill amount or the total amount is 2000 rupees. Now, discount is 0. If total amount, that is the amount, purchased amount is 2000, that is greater than 1000. Now, the amount is 2000 which is greater than 1000, then we are calculating discount as 8%, otherwise discount will be 0. Then we have FA. FA is final amount is equal to total amount minus discount. Then we are printing the total amount, then we are printing the discount and then we are printing the final amount. So, here let me just go through the program again. Write a C++ program to input the total amount, and if the amount is greater than 1000, a discount of 8% is given, otherwise no discount is given. Output the total amount, discount and the final amount using simple if statement. So, here you can see enter the total amount. Okay. Discount is equal to 0. Discount, let it be 0. If total amount is greater than 1000, so amount ಏನಾದರೂ 1000ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದ್ದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ 1000ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿನೇ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರಲ್ಲ. Suppose if somebody is purchasing for 800, then discount is 0. So, there is no discount, they have to pay 800. Suppose if somebody has purchased for 2000, then this condition is true because 2000 is greater than 1000. Then we are calculating the discount of 8%. Then we are deducting the discount from the total amount, then we are printing total amount, discount and final amount. Hope you have understood this program. So, let us continue with the next topic, that is if else statement. So, if else statement, here as we know that in simple if there is a condition given, only if the condition is true the statements are executed. If the condition is false, statements are not executed. But here there is a change. If there is a condition given, if the condition is true, statement 1 is executed. If the condition is false, statement 2 is executed. So, it is also called two-way branching. If else is also called two-way branching. That is because, so you can see the next flow chart so that you will understand. Two-way branching, here there is a condition. The condition can be true or the condition can be false. If the condition is true, statement 1 is executed. If the condition is false, statement 2 is executed. But both are not executed, either statement 1 is executed or statement 2 is executed. So, it is called two-way branching. Whereas in simple if statement, only if the condition is true, the statements are executed. So, here you can see here there is an example. In the previous example, only if the amount is greater than 5,000, 10% was given, discount was given. Later on, imagine the shopkeeper has decided to give a discount for all. Those who purchase above 5,000, for them 10% of discount is given, and less than 5,000, 5% of discount is given. So, you can see here, if amount is greater than 5,000, so if amount is greater than 5,000, then we are giving 10% of discount, otherwise else, that means when it will be false. If the given condition is false, the statement in the else part will be executed. So, 5% of discount is given. So, if the amount is greater than 5,000, 10% discount is given, otherwise 5% of discount will be given. Then if n% 2, if we divide a number by 2 and the remainder is equal to 0, as we know that the numbers which are divisible by 2 are called even numbers. So, here there is one more example where if n% 2, percent andre it will give remainder after division. After dividing a number by 2 and we are getting the remainder and that remainder is equal to 0, then the number is even, otherwise the number is odd. So, this is about the if else statement. Let us see the program based on if else statement. So, here we have practical program 7 where write a C++ program to check whether the given number is leap year or not. So, we need to check a year is given, any year it is given, we need to tell whether it is leap year or not. What is a leap year? As you know that the month of February, it has 28 days or 29 days. If the month of February in a calendar year is 29, it has 29 days, then that year is considered as a leap year. For example, 2020 is a leap year because in the year 2020 the month of February has 29 days. So, now if they are giving whether February has 28 days or 29 days, we can tell that it is leap year. If February month has 29 days, it is a leap year, otherwise it is not a leap year. But here they are giving us year, varshana kodtare. So, we need to tell whether it is a leap year or not. So, here when days are given, it is easy, we will compare with 28 or 29. 29 idre it is leap year, otherwise not a leap year, but here year kodta idare. So, you can see, read the program, write a C++ program to check whether a given year is leap year or not using if else statement. So then iostream.h, then conio.h, void main, int year. So because they have asked us to check whether a given year, so we are taking a year and we are checking whether it is leap year or not. So clear screen, enter the year in the form of YYY, that is 4 digits. Enter. So see in year, we are accepting year here, we are reading the year. Which year we need to tell that it is leap year or not. Then how to find out a given year is leap year or not. Suppose if somebody asks 2020, tell us adana leap year allo anta ಹೇಳಿ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, we will check the calendar and we will tell. Sometimes suppose if somebody asks, okay tell me some 2010, it is leap year or not, maybe you will find it in mobile and you will tell. Somebody will ask, say 1983, it is leap year or not. So we don't have calendar for 1983. So what we will do is, we will write a logic, and the logic is, as we know that leap year ಅಂದರೆ 4 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಯು ನೋ ದಟ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಲೆಂಡರ್ ಇಯರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದರೆ ಈಗ 2020 is a leap year. Okay, like that next leap year will be 2024, next will be 2028, and this will go on. So that means here, so we need to analyze that year. Every 4 years, once in 4 years we get a leap year. So what we will do is, we will divide the year by 4. We divide the year by 4, and if we get the remainder as 0. So you divide 2020 by 4, you will get remainder 0. You divide 2021, you will get remainder as 1. And you divide say 2023, again you will get 3 remainder. So 2022 you will get 2 remainder. So 2024 you divide by 4, you will get remainder as 0. That means any year, to know whether it is leap year or not, we need to divide it by 4, and then we need to check. If it remainder is 0, then we will print leap year, otherwise we will print it is not a leap year. So in this program, what we are doing here, we are accepting the year, and then we are dividing the year by 4 and checking the remainder. If the remainder is 0, then we are printing that it is a leap year, otherwise we will print it is not a leap year. So here we have one more practical program, program number 8. Now we need to check whether the given character is uppercase or lower case. ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸು, ಅದು ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಲೆಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ರೈಟ್ ಎ C++ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಟು ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಎ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ ವೆದರ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಲೋವರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಲೆಟರ್. ಅದು ಲೋವರ್ ಕೇಸಾ ಅಥವಾ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕೇಸಾ ಅಂತ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಡಾಟಾ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್. So we are taking char data, char, char. Now enter the character. We are accepting a character. ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡಿಂದ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ cin. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂದ ಡಾಟಾನ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ cout. Therefore we are including iostream.h as we will be using input and output statements. Then we are checking here. So we need to find out whether the given character is in capital or small letter. So if ch is greater than or equal to capital A, and it is less than capital Z, then we are printing it is in uppercase. If the given character lies in between small a and small z, in between ಅಂದರೆ small a ಮತ್ತು small z ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಇದ್ದರೆ, then we are printing it as lower case. Otherwise we are printing it is not a alphabet. Capital A ಇಂದ capital Z ವರೆಗೂ ಇದ್ದರೆ we are printing upper case character. ಇಲ್ಲದಿದ್ದರೆ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ a ಇಂದ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ z ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ we are printing lower case. Otherwise we are printing it's not a alphabet. So hope you have understood this program. This is a practical program number 8. Next we move on to if else if statement. So in simple if one condition is given, condition true idre statement run ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, true ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ statement run ಆಗಲ್ಲ. Okay, but there is little change in if else. A condition is given, if the condition is true one statement is executed, if the condition is false another statement is executed. So it is called two-way branching. Simple if ಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಒನ್ ವೇ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಿಂಗ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ವೇ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಟ್ರೂ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ರನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಟ್ರೂ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ರನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಇಫ್ ಎಲ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಥರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಟ್ರೂ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಒನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಅನದರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಟೂ ವೇ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಿಂಗ್. ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅನದರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ if else if statement where there will be multiple conditions given. ಟ್ರೂ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ನೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಇಟ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಎ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮರ್ ಟು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ statements based on a condition. Here there can be more than one condition. So it is called multi-way branch. So you can see here the general form of if else if statement. If there is a condition, if the condition is true then the statements are executed, otherwise there is one more condition tested. If the condition is true then the statements are executed, if it is false then another condition is tested. Like this there can be n number of if else if conditions. If none of the conditions are true then the statement within else is executed. So as you can see here there is a condition given. If the condition is true then the statement is executed, otherwise there is one more condition tested. If it is true the statement within condition 2 is executed, that is statement 2 is executed, otherwise one more condition ಚೆಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಟ್ರೂ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 1 ರನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಂದುಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಆದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಟ್ರೂ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 2 ರನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಆದರೆ ಅನದರ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್. ಅದೇ ಥರ ದೆರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಎನ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್, ಎನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್. ಯಾವುದು ಟ್ರೂ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕೈಂಡ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದ ಫ್ಲೋ ಚಾರ್ಟ್. ಒಂದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಟ್ರೂ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಟ್ರೂ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಟ್ರೂ ಆದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಟ್ರೂ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆದಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಂಡೀಷನಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಟ್ರೂ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೂ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಫ್ ನನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೂ, ಆಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ನು ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್. So you can see the form. If condition 1 ಟ್ರೂ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 1 ರನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ 2ಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ 2 ಟ್ರೂ ಆದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 2 ರನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಅನದರ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್. ಟ್ರೂ ಆದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟು, ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಕಂಡೀಷನು. ಇದೇ ಥರ ಯಾವುದೂ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ದ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್. So kindly observe the syntax. If none of the conditions are true, ಯಾವುದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಇರಲಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಡೀಷನು ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ ದೆನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ಎಲ್ಸ್. ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿತಿನ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್. So you can see the example. If marks is greater than 85, we will print distinction. Else, if marks is greater than 60, we will print first class. ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದರೂ 85ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಷನ್, 60ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್, 50ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್, 35ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಪಾಸ್, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಫೇಲ್. So now we will discuss practical program number 9, that is write a C++ program to input the number of units consumed in a electricity house, and we are calculating the bill amount. So as you know, every month ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಒಂದು electricity bill ಬರುತ್ತೆ. You can check the units and the calculations how they have done. 30 less than 30 units ಇದ್ದರೆ where each unit costs 3 rupees 50 paisa, and the units used is greater than 30 and less than 50, the cost is 4.25. 50ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದು 100ಗಿಂತ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 525. If it is more than, if consumer has used more than 100, we are using 5 rupees 85 paisa per unit. So here you can see float bill amount. We are taking the bill amount and units used. First we are taking units used. If it is less than 30, then bill amount is units into 350. Else, if the units used is less than 50, then we are calculating with 3.50 paisa. If it is less than 100, 4 rupees 25 paisa, that is into 5.25. That is, if it is greater than 100 units, we are calculating with 5 rupees 85 paisa, like this. So here we are calculating the bill amount. If the units is less than 30, we are calculating with 3.5 rupees, and so you can see here, if it is less than 30, 3.5 rupees, less than 50, we are calculating with 4.25 paise, and in 50 units we are calculating 29 units with 3.5 rupees, 3.50 rupees, and then the other rest of the 20 units with 4.25 rupees. Then if it is less than 100, we are calculating 30 units with 3.5 rupees, then 20 units with 4.25 paisa, and then rest of the units with 5.25. Similarly, if it is greater than 100, we are calculating with 5.85. Then we are printing the units consumed and total amount. So you are printing the total amount and the units consumed. As you can see here, as we are calculating 30 units with 3.5 rupees, and from there till 50 units, that is 20 units with 4.25, and then from there 50 units with 505 rupees 25 paisa, and rest with 5 rupees 85 paisa, and we are printing the total amount and the bill amount, units used and bill amount. Hope you have understood today's session, and so we will be completing this session today, that is if else statement. So next class we will be continuing the nested if statement. Hope you have understood the topics what has been discussed today. Thank you for your patience listening, my dear students. God bless you all. Have a great day ahead. God bless you.